Julia Louis-Dreyfus had absolutely no plans of making her breast cancer diagnosis public, but because her diagnosis meant production on Veep would shut down for a few months, she knew it was only a matter of time before the news would get out, so she decided to embrace it.
I kind of had to, given the circumstances, because our show had to shut down.
So if it weren't for Veep, we probably would have never known she got the news the morning after her historic Emmy win for Veep.
Thanks a million, you guys.
The Seinfeld actress says when she got the call 10 hours after she won her 6th Emmy for Veep, she started laughing hysterically as she described it to David Letterman like a crazy person. But if you're wondering if she ever feared leaving this world, she told The New Yorker that even though she was terrified to her bones, she said, "I didn't let myself go to a really dark place." And how she kept herself out of that dark place was through Veep and laughter. Julia kept on working throughout her 6 rounds of chemotherapy, but she was worried she couldn't handle the workload. She told Porter magazine, "I have to memorize a lot, and I was concerned about whether I'd be able to do that." But since filming was halted every 3 weeks, she would have treatment, and at the end of the 3 weeks, Julia would go in for table reads. Even though the effects of chemotherapy left her feeling nauseous with extreme neuropathy in her hands and feet, she said, "Going to work was a very joyful distraction, and I was so pleased to have the strength to do it." When she finished her 6th round of chemo and was declared cancer-free, she shared the good news on her social media with a photo of her doing, you guessed it, a table read. She used work to celebrate her clean bill of health and returned to film season 7, the final season of Veep. She told LA Time, "There was nothing better than going back to work, and it restored her spirit to be back."
It's spot on.
Anytime Julia speaks of her journey through treatment, she says she couldn't have done it without the love and support from everyone around her. Her family and close friends were who Julia relied on most through it all. But even her co-workers from Veep, Anna Chlonsky, who plays Amy Bruckheimer on the show, shared the cast would often send funny jokes or inappropriate texts to Julia to keep her spirits high and stay connected. Julia couldn't hug or touch anybody during treatment because she was immune compromised due to the chemo. The no hugging or touching rule took some getting used to, as she is a self-proclaimed hugger and toucher. Showrunner David Mendel said they had to quarantine the building and that anybody coughed, we banned them from the building like 3 days before Julia came in so she wouldn't get sick. For Julia, the best medicine her friends, family, and coworkers gave her was a good laugh. From the social media posts she would share to the texts and emails, she said,
It helped me get through chemotherapy and in a big way.
And during her Mark Twain Award speech, she credited her family and friends for keeping her laughing in the treatment room.
Cancer isn't at all funny, but a big part of dealing with it has been finding the funny moments.
With as much support as she got from her friends and family, Julia says one of the biggest benefits of going public with her diagnosis was her opportunity to help others also dealing with cancer. She said she was able to reach a lot of people, but most especially she was able to raise money for other people that needed reconstruction surgeries but didn't have the insurance to cover it. She said she was happy to be able to do it.
It is very sort of comforting to yourself in a weird way.
The Veep star was able to do this by documenting her public journey through treatments with regular posts on social media. But as much positive feedback her posts got,
I got a lot of positive feedback.
Julia also started sharing her journey more because of the paparazzi. She told The New Yorker, "There were people with long lenses trying to get pictures of me looking ill, so she decided to beat them to the punch and share a lot more than she planned." If there was one thing Julia's journey beating cancer diagnoses taught her, was how much people are impacted by healthcare in the US. Julia knows how lucky she was that through her union, she had the necessary healthcare to get her treatments as well as the means. In her interview with Porter magazine, she said, "Universal healthcare was an important issue to me prior getting this diagnosis, and it certainly is even more so now." And Julia believes it's a fundamental right.
Like drinking water.
Shout out to Julia Louis-Dreyfus for turning what could have been a sad situation into something more positive by bringing awareness, raising money, and sharing laughs throughout her journey with breast cancer.